Time for the weekly Are We Live song. Are we live? Yay, we are live. All I can hear is Pippa underneath the desk causing some sort of chaos. So if at any point I have to like climb under my desk to see what's going on, I apologize. So let me just make sure I'm live in the right place. You know, the usual preamble. Yay, I'm in the right place. If you're joining me, say hello, let me know you're here. I always love knowing that I'm not just talking to myself. I do that for most of the day, and it's really nice getting a break from it and coming in and talking to all of you guys. So, what is good exercise? How much time do you spend kind of worrying that you're doing the right thing, if you're doing the best thing, if you're doing a good thing, if this is bad for you? How often do those questions come up? Hey, Natalia, how often do those questions come up for you? And how do they make you feel? Because I think we all want the reassurance that we're doing a good thing and we're doing the right thing. And that's no different whether it's exercise, work, career choices, family choices, whatever. So let me know how you feel about exercises that are good at the moment. Before we dive into the main body, I do just want to share that reminder that the Orchard is still open, and I am typing that link into the chat box right now because I don't want you guys to miss out. I promised myself I'd copy and paste this before the live, and I didn't do it. So last chance to join, which is super exciting. So I've just shared that link there. So if you haven't already checked out the Orchard, go and do so. It closes tonight at 9 o'clock. It's been amazing welcoming new members in over the last week or the last 2 weeks. And I'd be really excited to welcome you as well. So if you're on the fence, go and check it out. It's not going to be open again for a few months. So this is not a drill. And I keep using that joke because I think it's funny. So let's dive into what is good exercise, what makes exercise good, and all of the things that surround that. Now, I realize I've kind of lured you in with like a false sense of security because I'm going to tell you that exercise is neither good nor bad. It doesn't have intention, it doesn't have any kind of good-bad alignment, but exercise can be helpful or unhelpful. And what this means is different for all of us. But just try that language on. Instead of thinking about exercise being good or bad, think about it being helpful or unhelpful. Does it help you reach your goals or does it not? And I'm going to just give you a moment to just feel that one out, because a lot of the time we assign good or bad to things like emotions, to experiences, to decisions. And when we take that kind of polarity out of it and we look on it as more as is this helpful for me or is this not helpful for me, it actually takes some of the pressure off and it makes it feel less like some sort of moral obligation to get it right and more like a personal choice where we can be like, is this the right thing for me? Is this helpful for me? As opposed to, is this good or bad overall? Because exercise is neither good or bad. So let me know what you think of that one. Let me know how that feels. If that doesn't quite resonate, let me know as well, because I realize that sometimes when we assign different words to kind of very ingrained patterns and thought patterns, it can feel a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, we're going to tackle this with exercise being helpful or unhelpful. So the second part of deciding if an exercise is helpful or unhelpful, it really depends on your goals and where your destination is. If you don't, oh goodness me, sorry, I'm getting things coming in. I didn't turn off things on silent. If you are watching this and I ask you, what is your fitness goal? What is your mindset goal? Does something clear come up or does it feel a bit foggy? It's okay if it's foggy. It's okay if it's clear. It's okay if you have like a 28-step plan to get there and you are just checking things off every day. It's okay if you have a routine that you follow and you just kind of stick with the routine and pop your head up to assess every now and again. What matters is that we have a direction of travel. Because if we are doing exercise just for the sake of it, we can find ourselves moving in kind of all sorts of directions and not actually getting any closer to where we want to be, especially if we've not thought about where we want to be. And I know that thinking about our goals can be a little bit overwhelming, a little bit like, oh my God, what's the point? I never reach them. And don't worry, I will never suggest you go away and make a goal smart. I've not once reached a goal I set as smart. So I won't ask you to do that. But if you have a clear direction of travel, you can think about different exercises as being helpful or unhelpful in terms of helping you get towards that destination. And this doesn't need to be a really clear cut. This is not going to reach my goal, so I can't do it. It can be, it's going to help my mindset, or it's going to help me feel good so that I want to keep going. So this can be like taking the scenic route. We acknowledge that we're not taking the motorway the whole way. We're going to come off, we're going to go to the beach, we're going to visit this destination, and then we're going to carry on. And if that increases our overall enjoyment, then great, let's go that way. That sounds way more fun. So is this exercise helpful or unhelpful? And when I say exercise, I can refer to either an entire sport, an entire genre of exercise, or an individual movement within a workout. Does this help you get closer to your destination or your direction? Is it taking you in the right direction? So if, for example, you are, this is a tricky one actually. So if you're working on your splits, which I know there's a few pollers in the room, and I know there's a few people who are not touching their toes and things like that, but flexibility training kind of stays along the same themes no matter where we are. If we're working on our splits and we're going for that more advanced level of flexibility, and then we decide to run a marathon, you could look at those two things and wonder, are they compatible? Is running a marathon helpful for getting your splits? Not directly, no. But if you've always wanted to run a marathon and you can maintain a level of flexibility while you do that training, and there's no contraindications between them, you don't have any knee, hip, or ankle issues that would stop you doing the marathon and maintaining your flexibility, then you're just taking a fun route. If, however, we're in a situation that's a little bit more intense, a little bit more clinical, we might have something which is unhelpful. So if, for example, we are trying to either lose or gain weight, if we're trying to gain weight and we are doing an excessive amount of like long, slow duration cardio, this is a really good one for burning excess fat. It's something that bodybuilders use in the final days before competition. If we're trying to gain weight and we find ourselves constantly moving, constantly doing HIIT, constantly doing weights, we could start to say that is unhelpful. It's actually pulling us away, directly away from that goal of putting on weight, fat and increasing and changing our body composition. So this is going to really depend on your goals. And I'd really like you to take a moment to think about how that helpful, unhelpful distinction feels and how you can apply that to your current situation. Because if your goal is just to get started, then lots of things are going to be helpful. You could try a yoga class on Monday, you could go for a run on Wednesday, you could do a bar class on Friday, you could do Boxercise on Monday. You can do all sorts of things and they're all helpful because they're helping you reach that goal. If you are going for something more specific, you might need to be a little bit more targeted, a little bit more direct. But again, it's going to be a really personal approach. And the thing I love about saying helpful and unhelpful is it really just takes the charge out of it. It stops it being an obligation, a decision, a moral judgment, and it really just makes it a pragmatic, is this going to help me? And I find that takes a lot of pressure off. And that's how I approach exercises as well. So if you ever come to me and say, am I doing the right thing for this? We can talk about it from a point of view of, is it helpful or unhelpful? And we can do that considering your body, your mindset, your schedule. I'm never going to tell you, if you've got 2 kids that you're homeschooling, to take 2 hours every day for your fitness training. It's not going to happen. So how does that feel? What makes exercise good? Spoiler alert, it's not good or bad. It's helpful or unhelpful. And whether it's helpful or unhelpful depends on our individual goals. So what's helpful for me may not be helpful for you, may be helpful for someone else, may not be helpful for someone else. And this is where having that individual approach makes all the difference. And this is a nice segue, that is exactly what I do with the Orchard. So if you are on the fence, if you are not sure what you're doing, if you are really sure what you're doing, but just not sure if you can tweak it, come and join me in the Orchard. We have everyone from people who are new to exercise, to other trainers, to pole dancers, to horse riders. There's a real range of people in the Orchard, and the thing we all have in common is that we are trying to disrupt this idea that fitness has to be really structured and rigid, and it can be personal, it can be intuitive, it can be in line with the rest of our lives, and that is why the Orchard exists. You basically have me in your pocket, but less annoying because you can turn the notifications off. You have me in your pocket to answer your questions and support you. And I would just really love to welcome you there, because this is the sort of work I do with the clients, with the Orchard members already, is we try and just interrupt some of those patterns. So if you are sitting worrying about exercise being good or bad, frame it as a helpful or unhelpful, and let me know how you get on, especially if you're catching the replay. Yeah, it's really lovely popping in to talk to you. As I said, Orchard closed at 9 o'clock tonight, which feels a little bit surreal. I'm not quite sure where the time has gone. But yeah, we'd love to welcome a few more faces before the deadline tonight. So the link is in the comments, so make sure you have a look. And if you're catching the replay, leave me a message. Let me know how you feel about that change. And you know that I love playing with language and how we talk about things. So expect more bombshells like, exercises can't be good or bad over the weeks to come. So have a lovely weekend. It's been great chatting to you all, and I will see you again very soon. And next week will probably be a little bit quieter because it's the week after launching the Orchard. But I'm still here. So post in the group, ask questions, invite your friends. The dog is barking at things. So yeah, keep in touch. Have a great weekend. And I hope that's been some food for thought. Catch you later. Bye.